We are back for day 2 of our 24 previews for Euro 2024, and we move on to Scotland. The Tartan Army was going through a dreadful period of failing to qualify for international tournaments from the 1998 World Cup until Euro 2020. They didn't qualify for any tournaments in between. But now they've made back-to-back European Championships, a major upturn in their form, although they may have been slightly helped by the fact that the Euros has gone from 16 teams to 24. In the 11 major tournaments Scotland has qualified for, they have never made it through the group stage, not once. And I tell you what, I think this could be their best chance ever to make it through to the knockout round. In terms of qualifying, they were electric at the start of this. They were absolutely on fire. They won their first 5 matches, including beating Spain at Hampden Park by 2-0. In that match, Scott McTominay scored both goals and he was on fire in qualifying. He scored 7 goals in qualifying, 1 more than Haaland and 1 fewer than Harry Kane. Now, Scotland did tail off somewhat towards the end of qualifying, but it didn't matter. They'd done enough to see themselves through to make it back-to-back qualifications at the European Championships. However, some of their recent results will be slightly more concerning. They were battered by both France and Netherlands in recent international windows, but that's not to be too scoffed at. It was the loss at home to Northern Ireland that really questioned some of what Steve Clarke was trying to do on the tactical front. And in terms of Steve Clarke, he's now 5 years into this role. He took over the job back in 2019 and he's still here now. He's masterminded Scotland getting to the Euros now twice, but it'll be a cementing of the legacy if he manages to qualify them for the knockouts. And you'd think with all of that, he would be very smiley and cheery, but no one seems to have told his face that. In terms of the players, their captain is Liverpool left-back Andy Robertson. He has had an amazing period during his time with the Reds. He's won the Champions League, he's won the Premier League, and he has been a major part in it all, especially in the build-up of how Jurgen Klopp teams like to play. His age now seems to be counting against him a little bit. It appears to be past his peak, but he's still a key man for Scotland. But in terms of their star man, it has to be Scott McTominay. I can't understate it enough. He was unbelievable in qualifying and he really is a pivotal man. He's just a clutch player. Even when he's out of form, he can be a really clutch player, both with Scotland and with Man United too. In terms of my one to watch, I'm going to go with Lewis Ferguson. He's a creative midfielder in a great Bologna side that's being managed by Thiago Motta at the moment and is going for European qualification in Serie A. He did pick up an injury though, and thus we may see him have to start from the bench at the Euros. But if he is fit and he is starting, that midfield of Scott McTominay, Lewis Ferguson and John McGinn is one that can actually contend with a lot of teams at this tournament. In terms of other observations, just like we spoke about with Germany, the lack of a real number 9. The choices at the moment appear to be between Dykes and Shea Adams and Lawrence Shankland, but none of them are really that prolific. In terms of their lineup, it tends to be a 3-4-3 that Steve Clarke is in favour of, which sees Kieran Tierney shifted into centre-back. Their main avenues of getting through matches is to soak up pressure and then be direct with long balls forwards. In terms of their expectations, it's going to be rather differing between what they hope and what I think will happen for them, sadly. They will hope they can beat both Hungary and Switzerland, the other 2 teams in their group, which will take them comfortably through in seconds. If they can then get a magical win in the last 16, they could be taking on England in the last 8, where anything could happen in a match of that magnitude. In terms of what I think will happen though, I think they're going to battle really well in their opening match against Germany, the first match of the tournament, but then I fear they're going to fall away and I can't see them picking up even one win this tournament. I think Scotland fans, I'm going to have to say, I think you're going to come bottom. In terms of the odds, the bookies kind of back me up too. They've got you at 80 to 1. They believe there is near chance for you to get through and win this tournament. But who knows? Scotland are here once again. It's their second tournament in a row. They'll believe they'll be pushing the Tartan Army as much as they possibly can. That's it in terms of Scotland. If you haven't seen yesterday's, you haven't seen the other one in the series that was Germany, or perhaps you're watching this a little bit later and you've missed some other ones too, check the playlist next to me and find another one to watch. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you another day for another preview ahead of Euro 2024.